You need to try and pick off the units as...
Look at the shields on the mark.
Oh my god, the drone's gonna take this!
Welcome back to game number 2 in our series between Fnatic, NightEnD, and Dignitas Merz. I'm DJ Wee from OneMoreGame.tv, and you are tuned in to the IPL Season 2. That's right, the first season was so damn good that a second season was inevitable. Make sure to check out IGN.com/IPL for not only additional information on these players, but a slew of content, including interviews, some advanced analysis and content from some of the other members of the IPL team. So we've got a great series of players this season, a great series of commentators as well. So you know what? I may be sitting here and commentating, but you better believe, whoa, what was that we just saw at a Merz, a little misclick there. You better believe that I'm a spectator as well. And this is game number 2 between Fnatic, NightEnD, and Dignitas Merz. Game 1 on Tal'Darim Altar did go to NightEnD, and Merz, a little bit of like, hey, maybe I'll use 6 SCVs to build that supply depot, maybe not so much. Merz is going to be our red Terran spawning in the southeast position. NightEnD is going to be our blue Protoss spawning in the northwest. It will be cross positions. We see this early scout coming out here by NightEnD. He's going to quickly check up in this base, go, yeah, there's nothing going on in here, and knows exactly where Merz is going to be. Now, the Rax is going to be built here a little bit further away from the front. Let's see, SCV going to go ahead and go out and scout as well. No gas going down, so probably going to have a 1 Rax expand coming out by Merz. Standard opening for the Terran on this particular map, just due to the fact that it's going to be cross positions. He doesn't really know it yet, but Merz is going to scout that no problem. So as this Rax finishes up, we'll see what we're going to see out of there. As you can already see, his minerals floating pretty high. Good indication here with no gas and how high the minerals are that we're going to go ahead and get that fast expand. And looks like the orbital going to go up, and the first Marine coming out, and then we'll see the command center going down. Meanwhile, the gateway will finish up with the cybernetics core right behind it. Merz is going to be doing some scouting inside the base of NightEnD, see exactly what he can see, and a probe is going to block that with a pylon. Now, effective, not nearly as effective as it would be versus Zerg. Why? Well, you're going to have these Marines out, and I'm guessing we're going to see a cancel here, but no. Wow, interesting. So what it did do is it didn't allow Merz to build on the low ground. If you allow Merz to build on the low ground, that means that his expansion is going to get up much, much quicker. But now, of course, with the pylon going down, he had to bring the Marines out. He had to go ahead and kill it. And he knows that he has delayed this just a little tiny bit. Now, all it means is that Merz is going to finish this command center here. Then he's going to have to lift it, float it over. And that is kind of what caused the delay. Another Rax coming out. Got no add-ons, but both refineries going down right now over on the Terran, or excuse me, the Protoss side. See that still with the 1 gas. The Warp Gate research right around 30% done right now. So let's see what we're going to have. Stalker moving out. He's going to go ahead and throw down a Nexus right now before his gateways. And he's not really chrono boosting his Warp Gate research. So it shouldn't really be much of a problem. That won't like finish up before his gateways are even ready to do it. And there we see the command center finishing. Bunker going to be at the top of the ramp, and the another Rax is going to go down as he just does not have enough gas quite yet. But mining out of both of those. See some mules be dropped, and we're going to have a tech lab going down. Likely see Stim right away after that. And there we see the additional gateways for NightEnD going down right now. So going with like a 3-gate expand, throwing down that Nexus before those gateways coming out. Has the sentry down here for any sort of oh no type moment. He also has this Stalker And I love the placement of this Stalker. He can pop in here, check to see if that command center has been moved over. It's not going to be able to get past this particular area right here because the fact that we do have the 4 Marines and the bunker sitting right there. SCV is going to be able to make it out of the base, and the Stalker will be, I guess he will be found, as that SCV knows exactly where he is. But we've got NightEnD with vision in the middle. He'll also see that SCV going on over. Marines are going to come out to try to pick off this Stalker, and I really like how Merz decided to engage there, and definitely something to learn. What we saw there is Merz actually moved as close to the Stalker as he possibly could, hoping that NightEnD wasn't going to give an instant reaction, and that's exactly what happened. And by the time NightEnD was able to react, it was a surefire thing that Stalker was going to go down. So smart move, good decision coming out by Merz. The factory going down right now, reactor on one of the racks, and then we have Stim, as I mentioned earlier, with +1 weapons underway. Where is that NG Bay? There it is, right over there. Meanwhile, over on the other side, both gases going down for NightEnD, putting another pylon at the front here. Taking a quick look at the worker count, we see our Protoss player well ahead, is about 10 workers right now, and is pulling in higher income than the Terran player. Going to go ahead and get that robotics facility and that first observer out. Really, really key, but a nice little attack force that is going to just play out perfectly as far as upgrades are concerned. Is going to see that Stim finishing up. He forced his opponent out of the middle, denied him that vision. Of course, the observers coming in, so it'll be less of a factor for NightEnD. Of course, you still want to try to control these towers. You don't want your opponent to have vision, but with the observer, which I think was spotted by Merz as he is kind of making his way over, could see a scan here, find out if we have enough for a scan. We do not. But there is the missile turret and the bunker combination. And good night, observer, as it will go down. We're going to see the Forge, the Twilight Council. So a very similar build coming out of NightEnD that we saw in the last game. Not really much deviation here at all. Twilight Council, probably see him go blink as he did in the previous matches. And then we might even see him go ahead and convert over to the Templar Archives. The HTs, High Templar, did very, very well in that last matchup. Merz with another gas at his natural. Both of them occupied here in the main as well, putting up some additional missile turrets. Try to keep his opponent's eyes out of his base. Also getting the combat shield upgrade with the medevac starting to drop. Now the factory not really doing much of anything right now, so we will have a focused bio army. There we see Blink underway with the +1 ground weapons, and another observer is out. Now he's got to be careful. There are a couple of missile turrets scattered all over. He finds a nice little place to hide. He's going to get in range of that missile turret. Takes 1, 2, not a third hit. Boom! And not paying attention will lose that observer. Quickly, we will see the reaction come out by the Protoss players. Merz has a nice little assault force moving forward. There are some good sentries here, full of energy with force fields, and about 7 stalkers out on the field. See if he's throwing down any more gateways. Yes, he's just finished up 2 gateways. There's a third one as well, so he'll be operating on 6 gates, and we're going to have a lift into the main. Oh, that gateway will go down, and this could be a potential for a lot of damage here. He's got to be careful. Going to pop that Guardian Shield. Great force fields blocking in a lot of those units, but picked up by the medevac. A beautiful move by Merz, and now the Protoss kind of fighting for his life here as the Terran doing quite a bit of damage here with the concussive shells and the Stim and the combat shield, making them super effective. Zealots will be warped in here, and another drop over here as we did have a few Marines kind of stim in. Not much of a drop, just to send some Marines in. He's going to go ahead and kill a pylon and do some more damage to the back line here. He's going to try to focus down those medevacs, and the Zealots desperately trying to get in. And here comes the sandwich from the back. One medevac does fall. The second one manages to get away with a lot of units. And this actually will be important because he was left with 3 Marines and a Marauder. Means he'll be able to do a little bit more damage later on if he ever wants to. And that will always kind of be a constant threat. So Blink is finished up, and now Charge is on its way. We're also going to see that Templar Archives going down as well, and I'm not sure if that was actually spotted. Let's see where we've got that. I think it was, okay, I'm blind. I am blind. Do not see the Templar Archives at all. That drop did return in the back. will be cleaned up by the Zealots. And seriously, there it is. Sorry. That's why I wear glasses, folks. Templar Archives in the back at the natural. Got it. I feel safe now. We've got +2 weapons coming out for the Terran. Right now, the upgrades are sitting at a 1-1 with 4 medevacs out. One thing, though, got to be careful about with Merz, where we found him in the last game, is that if we ever do decide to see a switch over to Colossus, which is not the case right now, kind of going with a heavy ground army, focusing on the upgrades, might be able to do some damage. Of course, last time, there just simply weren't enough Vikings to be able to take care of those initial Colossus. They did a lot of damage, and now a 3rd base going up for NightEnD. I do not see any indication that a 3rd base is going to be happening here for Merz. Something you might want to be considering here. Of course, Merz could opt to take this one right here, a very safe 3rd to take. Harder to transition or to made it over all of your SCVs without taking out the rocks. But, of course, if you take out the back rocks, you're not totally putting yourself in danger, because you can get there and your opponent would have to take out these rocks in order to gain access there. Now, what is the Protoss doing? About ready to finish up with Storm here. Has a lot of High Templar already warped in. They're just sitting there and gaining energy. And here we have a drop in the back. We're going to have a few Marines come. Oh, feedback and a Storm. Adding insult to injury there. Of course, that does give away the High Templar, but using every single piece of utility that those guys have available to them. Right now, taking a look at the supply count of our 2 armies. 124 for Merz from Team Dignitas. Over on the other side, we've got 123 for NightEnD. And a little bit different, because NightEnD did have a pretty significant supply advantage in the last game, was able to utilize that and kind of carry him into victory. Whereas now Merz, is he going to throw up that command center? And the Ghost Academy is up. Now, in a matchup, Protoss versus Terran, we have seen Ghosts become insanely popular. However, in that last game, I felt like Merz not really bringing the same amount of Ghosts that he needed to in order to be effective. However, this game, we've got something much different happening. Already 6 Ghosts out on the field. He obviously is going to be focusing on EMPs, and with those High Templar, that's important. With the Sentries, that's important. But even more so, the fact that he's mostly ground army units and has no Colossus right now is going to be a very, very big deal. Now, we do see the robotics bay going up, a 2nd robotics facility being made, so there is still the potential of those Colossus. How effective will these EMPs be, however? We will see the scan to take out the Observer. Some solid EMP hits could negate all the storms, could make these units just melt. And here we go. Where's the EMP? EMP in the back. The High Templar have not been hit yet, and storms going down like absolutely crazy. The EMPs did hit a lot of those units, but there we now see all the energy gone out of the Templar. It's not going to matter, however. The damage was done, and look at how quickly, down to 127 supply for the Terran, 144 supply for the Protoss, trying to now get this command center up. Has this one finished, lifted, and I suspect that we're going to see it send it off to over there, but we have a pylon being warped in over here by NightEnD. That, of course, will make harassment on the 3rd very easy, and it's not going to be something the Terran's going to want to have to deal with. Let's take a look at the ghost count after that last one. We are now at 4 ghosts. Wow, we're going to see the command center land right there, which is going to be a pretty unsafe position. Of course, you can see that vision is there, but he is going to morph into a planetary. Oh, and he just could attack from the back. What he wants to do is not let him take out that expansion. If NightEnD moves in there and takes that out, it would be a very, very horrible situation. In fact, we're going to see Zealots taking that out over there. Another command center is going to be lifting up, so it was canceled. And will one of these expansions get up? I still feel like a safer route would have been sending it over here. But again, you don't have any easy way to transfer your SCVs over. Oh, Storm on the SCVs. He doesn't do a big hit on the, but, oh, there's a big hit coming out. It's going to soften up a lot of SCVs. The planetary finishes, however, and the medevac's going to have to waste some energy helping out and trying to save those SCVs. Got another Nexus going up right here And really the key to this battle for the Terran is going to be these ghosts in here. Only 4 ghosts. They do have a lot of energy there. But I have a feeling if Colossus come out, and they will be coming out, we got +3 weapons on the way for the Protoss. He is going to be on 4 base in just a moment, heavily guarded over here from drops. This command center is going to finish up. This one is going to be done, and now that the planetary is there, it's going to be less of a problem. It's going to check up here, make sure there's no pylon. Unfortunately, he didn't check all the way forward. So +3 coming out for the Terran. Take a look at his upgrades. He is at 2-2. He is a little bit higher on those army upgrades. We haven't seen a whole lot of ghost production here by Merz, however. And with these Colossus out, 3 Colossus, this is going to be such a devastating force to deal with. 189. He's going to scan beyond the grass. And there is, oh my God, the EMP missed because the Stalkers blinked out. And that will allow these units to come in. They're still fully cocked with storms right now and could do a ton of damage. The Terran army is going to bait him backwards. Has a lot of medevacs in play right now. So far, the Colossus has been pretty ineffective. And there we're going to see Storms and the Colossus combo doing a ton of damage there to the bio units. There are just an absolutely ton of medevacs here, but it may not matter if you have no ground units to heal up. 1 sentry falls down. We're going to see that command center fall as well. And the supply right now, 136 to 185 for the Protoss. He's going to clear out this tower. He kept all of his Colossus alive and at full health. He's going to meet up yet again. He'll be able to attack the planetary. Oh, he loses 2 High Templar, but still manages to get a storm off and a second storm as well. Does look like the Terran Merz will go ahead and get this army out of there, and the planetary fortress manages to stay alive as well. But Merz just finding himself needing to reproduce ghosts. That means no new Marauders coming out, getting a lot of Marines, and finally now getting his Viking count up. But again, is it going to be too late? He could continue to harass with these Colossus against the planetary fortress, or he might just choose to come into attack. And look at this, 3 more Colossus joining in. There are 9 High Templar, all of them with at least 1 storm able to be thrown down. And Merz just cannot commit. He would really almost want to try to bait some of these storms out, and there's not enough Vikings out right now to deal with this. He's going to go ahead and stem forward. We have the Guardian Shield popping. The first storm's going down, and 6 Colossus beating away, and there's no hope for Merz. GG. As easily NightEnD will roll over that Terran army, having to lead the entire game and just basically stepping up over Merz like he is a ladder, and NightEnD is trying to get to the top. And that means that NightEnD will advance with a 2-0 victory over his Terran opponent, Merz, from Team Dignitas, and we will be seeing him again in the winners round 2, while Merz will be dropped down to the lower bracket. I am DJ Wheat. This has been another matchup for the winners round 1 in the IPL Season 2, and we've got more StarCraft action coming at you. Don't forget to check out IGN.com/IPL.